dealing with the unfit client or dealing with an unfit prospect and actually giving them your time and eventually getting hired by them can literally end up in your business dying. So rather than settling for something that might work and something that is kind of good, you need to be able to say no to 10 bad opportunities just so that you can say yes to that one great one. Let me show you what I mean. So imagine there are two timelines, right? Imagine we're in a multiverse and there are two timelines. You're gonna have timeline number 1 and then you're gonna have timeline number 2. And each one of these goes across in time. Now, in timeline number 1, what we're doing is we're gonna have month 1 and month 5. Now, to timeline number 1, we're going to do what most business owners do, especially at the beginning of their business, which is they have a set price, whatever they want to offer, they know what they need to be paid, and then they get on a sales call with a lead that is kind of working out, but not really, and then they hit their first obstacle. Their main objection is this is too expensive. So what do? In timeline number 1, they go from their $10,000 price point down to $2,000 a month. So this is what happens. They charge $2,000 the first month. By the time they reach the 5th month, they've been paid only 20% of what they really needed to be paid in order to fulfill that client. And what happens is they weren't able to deliver because with $2,000, you cannot deliver the same results that you would with 10, right? You just don't have the money to invest. So what happens in month number 5? That client leaving you at $0 a month. So you made 1, 2, 3, 4 months worth of revenue, $2,000. You made $8,000. You haven't really helped the client. They left you. No referrals, no nothing. You have to start from zero again, right? And you were so busy that dealing with that client that you weren't really even making enough money to go and chase other new clients. Now, what ends up happening here is that you keep settling for lower leads, lower prices. You never end up getting the kind of clients that you want to work with. You never really produce the kind of results that you want to produce. Now, in timeline number 2 in this multiverse of business, what happens is you stick to your guns and you have multiple sales calls. You pitch your $10,000 service or product, and then by the end, if they say this is too expensive and you walk them through the objections and it still is such a big objection that the people don't want to work with you, right, at the 10K point, you say, okay, it just doesn't seem to be a right fit for us. Maybe sometime down the line we can work together. But what happens is month number 1, it's going to be tough. You're not going to be able to close, especially at the beginning, right? You need to get many sales calls in order to finally get somebody to pay you what you need to be paid. You might be struggling even for 3 months. I've had 3 months where I've had absolutely no business at the beginning. But what happens? You keep going, you reach out to 100 people every day, you run your ads, you run your outreach, you do your content. Eventually, you're going to have enough sales appointments to where one of the people is going to be an ideal client. And ideally, you would have done some research on who your ideal client is. What happens in the 4th month is you finally manage to close at $10,000 a month. And because you have now gotten 10K, you can invest a lot of that money into the success of the client. You can hire some better people, or you can just dedicate more time and effort rather than looking for more clients. You can serve that client because you got paid enough money. So what happens? You end up over delivering in the 1st month. Next month, that's another 10K for you. And that keeps going. So in your 1st month, you've made 10,000 as opposed to 8,000, which means you already made more money and covered the rest of the months that you didn't make any money. Hopefully you had some savings. And then in the next month, you make 10K again. And guess what? With 10K and 10K, you're going to be able to fulfill your client, hopefully. And what matters is that you bring more business than you cost. So with $10,000, can you generate more than $10,000 in business? I would say yeah. And if you do that, then you keep getting paid $10,000 because you're bringing in maybe 50, 100, $1 million worth of business every month. So this is a no-brainer, right? You have all the tools that you need. Rather than compromising and going down in price, you have all the tools that you need at $10,000 a month to fulfill the client that you want to work with. Also, another just tip to keep in mind that whoever goes in and pays you at least $10,000 a month, and that's just an arbitrary sum, is always going to be a better client than the one who is haggling you down for $2,000. Always. Because the ones at 10,000, they have that expendable money. They know that 10,000, their business is not hanging by a thread because they would not be giving you $10,000. It obviously means that they know how to invest in people for growth, and it means that they trust you. They give you $10,000 because you're solving a problem that requires a lot of time and effort on their end. And instead of them doing it, they want you to do it, right? At $2,000, these people just want overnight results. They're going to micromanage. They're going to do everything in their power for you to have a hard time getting them results. So don't get stuck in this first timeline. That's the bad timeline. You want to go in the second timeline. And I know this is hard, right? I know that getting months at $0 is hard and you might not be able to afford it. You might have to get a part-time job. You might have to find an offer that is like cheaper, but doesn't promise as many results. Whatever it is that you do for your main offering, don't settle for nothing less than what you have. And these are arbitrary numbers, right? Your $2,000 could be your highest offer. I'm just saying, don't settle for less than what you need to.